Okay, let's talk about this. Extension. I love extension, but there is a catch. You know, a lot of my clients actually got a wrong assumption that, for example, they qualify for the extension and then they will just automatically get that extension and they will just not worry about it until that extension deadline date. But it is wrong, okay? A lot of my clients actually wrongly assume this. Let me explain. So, it's a kind of good news for expats and global entrepreneurs. A lot of my clients actually is qualified for this, but also, as I said, I strongly recommend that do not abuse this because or wrongly assume some of things because you may get things wrong. Okay, you don't want to get complicated during text. You want to be direct. You want to be clear. You want just to follow every rule, okay? So here's the thing. So if you're living or working outside the US or Puerto Rico on April 15th, okay? If you're living or working outside on that date, you automatically get extra 2 months to file, okay? So most of the time is April 15th, so automatically 2 months, that's June 15th, okay? So remember, I talked about catch. There is a catch. No need to submit a form. No need to submit a return. That's automatic extension. But remember, this extension to file, not to pay. Okay? So if you say you own tax, and then you say, well, I live abroad now. I work abroad now. So you know what? I don't need to worry about until the June 15th. But you are wrong, okay? If you own the tax, the interest still built from that day. Okay? So basically, for example, let me just give you an example. Some of my clients who is like living right now in Japan, right? So they qualify for the automatic 2 month extension because his main place of business is abroad, is not in the US. And of course, he can file by the deadline of June 15th automatically, right? So basically, the automatic extension is that they don't need to submit form 4868 in order to extend, to get that extension. But here's the thing. If he owns tax, the interest still starting to count from the April 15th. So what he should do is that even though he do not need to go through the paperwork of form 4868 in order to get that extension, and he did not actually need to file by this April 15th, okay? But if he can file, that's even better. But if he can't file, he did not need to go through all this paperwork of filing, but you know what? He owns tax, he still need to pay, okay? And you might think, well, if he did not file the tax return, how can he pay the tax? You know what? He need to estimate, okay? So there's estimates the tax that he may need to pay, and then you just pay it by, April 15th, okay? So basically, he need to estimate and pay the tax by that certain date, and then he can send the full return later. All right? So this may seem like a extra step for those people who just need to file, and then they just extend for 2 months, but they also need to pay. But when they pay, they need to estimate. So it seems like this 2 months extension is just not worth it. Okay, you might as well just file the full return by this April 15th and then pay the tax as well. Okay, so you know what? I think it's just to give you some options to file the paperwork, but still you can't avoid tax. You can't delay the tax. It's not the extension of tax. You still need to estimate and pay. And while you estimate, you might as well just do all this calculation and then pay. Because you know what? It's April the 15th. So it's just like it gives you a lot of time. As I said, it gives you a lot of time to do this. So even you live abroad, you still got a lot of time to calculate, to pay and all that. So Yeah, but it's good to know if you for some reason, right? You have to automatic extend and late file the full tax return and estimate and pay. Do that as well. Okay, but just don't wrongly assume that you can extend your tax payments, right? You just extend the filing.